The sky falls silent. It was a normal Tuesday in New York City. People walked fast on the busy streets. Yellow taxis honked their horns. The smell of hot dogs filled the air. Everything seemed usual. Then, at 2:15 p.m., something strange happened. All the phones stopped working. No calls, no texts, no internet. People looked at their phones, confused. "Hey, what's wrong with my phone?" A man in a suit asked. "Mine's not working either," said a woman next to him. Soon, everyone on the street was talking about their dead phones. But it wasn't just phones. The big TV screens in Times Square went black. Radios in cars and shops only made static noises. A teenage girl pointed at the sky. "Look, what's happening up there?" Everyone looked up. The blue sky was changing color. It turned light purple, then dark purple. It looked like a giant bruise spreading across the sky. People started to worry. Some ran into buildings. Others took photos with cameras that still worked. A group of friends hugged each other, scared. Then they heard it. A low, deep sound. It was like nothing they had ever heard before. The sound made the ground shake a little. "What is that noise?" An old lady asked, holding her little dog tight. No one knew. The sound got louder. Windows in buildings started to shake. Car alarms went off all over the city. Suddenly, the purple sky opened up. It looked like a giant hole in the air. Something was coming through the hole. Something big. At first, people could only see a dark shape. It was huge, bigger than any building in New York. As it came closer, they could see more details. It was a spaceship, a real alien spaceship. The ship was silver and shiny. It had strange lights all over it. It was shaped like a giant dinner plate, but with spikes sticking out. The spaceship moved slowly over the city. It was so big that it covered all of Times Square in shadow. People in the streets stopped moving. They just stared up at the ship, their mouths open. Some people screamed and ran away. Others took out their phones to record, but the phones still didn't work. A brave news reporter tried to film with a big camera, but that didn't work either. Police cars and fire trucks raced to Times Square. Their sirens were the only sound in the quiet city. The police looked as shocked as everyone else. The giant ship stopped moving. It hung in the air over Times Square, not making a sound. Everyone waited to see what would happen next. Then a bright light appeared under the ship. The light got bigger and brighter. People had to cover their eyes. Something was coming down from the ship. It looked like a tube of light. The tube touched the ground in the middle of Times Square. A shape appeared in the light. It was tall and thin. As it came out of the light, people could see it better. It was an alien, a real, live alien. The alien was blue and had no hair. It had big black eyes and a small mouth. It wore a shiny suit that looked like it was made of metal. The alien stepped out of the light and looked around. It seemed calm, not scared or angry. Everyone was quiet. No one knew what to do. Should they run? Should they say hello? The alien raised its hand. It had long, thin fingers. In its hand was a small, round object. The alien pressed the object. Suddenly, all the phones and TVs in the city turned on again. But they all showed the same thing, the alien's face. The alien opened its mouth and spoke. Its voice came from every phone, every TV, every radio in New York, maybe in the whole world. "People of Earth," the alien said in perfect English, "I come from the Galactic Empire. We need to talk." And just like that, everything changed. The world would never be the same again. The scary message. The blue alien stood in Times Square. Its big black eyes looked at the scared people. Everyone was quiet, waiting to hear what it would say. The alien's voice came from every phone and TV. It was deep and smooth, like it was inside everyone's head. "I am Zork, from the Galactic Empire," the alien said. "We have watched your planet for a long time. Now we have a message for all humans. People all over the world listened. In China, farmers stopped working to watch on old TVs. In Brazil, kids in school huddled around phones. Even in small villages in Africa, the alien's voice came from old radios. Zork, the alien, kept talking. Humans, you have grown too fast. You are dangerous. We are here to stop you. In Times Square, a brave reporter raised her hand. Stop us from what? She asked. Zork looked at her. His big eyes blinked slowly. From leaving Earth, he said. People gasped. Leave Earth? Many hadn't even thought about that yet. But why? Someone shouted. We haven't done anything wrong. Zork's face appeared on the big screens in Times Square. He looked serious. You humans learn too fast. You build things too quickly. If you come to space, you will take over everything. In London, the Prime Minister watched from 10 Downing Street. In Moscow, the President slammed his fist on his desk. In Washington, D.C., the President of the United States stood up, angry. Back in New York, Zork continued. From this day, Earth is off limits. You cannot leave your planet. If you try, we will stop you. A little girl in the crowd started to cry. Her mother hugged her tight. An old man shook his fist at the sky. You can't tell us what to do, he yelled. Zork didn't seem to care. We have put a force field around your planet. No rockets can leave. No signals can go out. You are trapped here. All over the world, people got angry. In Paris, people threw things at the TV screens. In Tokyo, people cried in the streets. In Mexico City, people hugged each other, scared. The alien wasn't finished. If you try to break our rules, we will punish you. We might take away your sun, or your moon, or worse. More people started to cry. Some fell to their knees, praying. Others looked ready to fight. In Times Square, a young man stepped forward. He wore a NASA t-shirt. But we dream of exploring space, he said. It's our future. You can't take that away. Zork looked at the young man. For a second, he almost looked sad. Dreams can be dangerous, he said. It's better to stay safe on your own planet. The President of the United States finally spoke. Her voice came through all devices, just like Zork's. We reject your demands, she said firmly. Humanity will not be caged. Zork turned his head, like he was listening to something. Then he spoke again. Your leaders are brave, but foolish. We are many. We are strong. You cannot fight us. He raised his hand. A bright light appeared around him. This is your only warning, he said. Stay on Earth or face the consequences. With that, Zork disappeared in a flash of light. The huge spaceship above Times Square started to move. It flew up into the purple sky. In seconds, it was gone. The sky turned blue again. Phones and TVs went back to normal. But nothing else was normal anymore. All around the world, people looked up at the sky. They couldn't see it, but they knew the force field was there. They were trapped on Earth. Some people were angry. They wanted to fight back. Others were scared and wished the aliens would just go away. But deep inside, many humans felt something else, a spark of defiance, a feeling that this wasn't the end. Somehow, someday, they would find a way to reach the stars. The Galactic Empire had given its scary message, but humanity's story was far from over. Humans fight back. 2 weeks after the alien Zork's scary message, world leaders met in secret. They gathered in a big underground room in Switzerland. The room was safe from alien eyes and ears. The U.S. president spoke first. We can't let aliens boss us around, she said, hitting the table. We must fight back. The Chinese president nodded. But how? Their ships are big. Their tech is strong. A young woman stood up. She wore a white lab coat. I'm Dr. Lee from Korea, she said. I have an idea. Everyone looked at her. Dr. Lee pulled out a tablet. We can't beat them with big ships, she said, But maybe we can beat them with small, smart tech. She showed them a picture. It looked like a tiny spaceship, no bigger than a car. "This is the Mosquito," she said. "It's small, fast, and invisible to alien tech." The room buzzed with excitement. The Russian president leaned forward. "How does it work?" Dr. Li smiled. "It uses a new kind of engine. It can slip through the alien force field, and it has a special computer that can hack alien systems." The Indian Prime Minister looked worried. "But what can one small ship do?" "We don't send just one," Dr. Li said. "We send hundreds, like a swarm of mosquitoes. They can't swat them all." The room was quiet. Then the British Prime Minister laughed. "I like it. It's crazy, but it might work." The U.S. President stood up. "All in favor of Project Mosquito." Every hand in the room went up. For the next month, scientists from all over the world worked in secret. They built the Mosquito ships in hidden labs. Pilots trained in secret simulators. Finally, the day came. 500 Mosquito ships were ready. They were hidden in bases all around the world. The U.S. President went on TV. She looked serious. "People of Earth," she said, "today we fight for our freedom. We will not be caged on our own planet." At her signal, the Mosquito ships took off. They were so small and fast, they looked like shooting stars in the sky. In New York, people cheered as the ships flew over. In Tokyo, kids waved flags. In Rio, people danced in the streets. The mosquitoes hit the force field. For a second, nothing happened. People held their breath. Then, like magic, the tiny ships slipped through. In space, the alien ships were caught by surprise. Alarms went off on their big ships. The mosquitoes zipped around them, too fast to catch. Some mosquitoes fired tiny lasers, cutting alien sensors. Others hacked into alien computers, stealing secret info. A few brave pilots even landed on the big alien ships, sneaking inside. On Earth, Dr. Li watched on a big screen. "It's working," she shouted. "We're breaking through." The alien ships tried to fight back. They fired big lasers, but the mosquitoes were too quick. It looked like a giant trying to swat tiny flies. After an hour, the mosquitoes headed home. They zipped back through the force field, carrying alien tech and secrets. As they landed, crowds cheered. Pilots climbed out, grinning and waving. They were heroes. In the underground room, world leaders watched the news. The U.S. President smiled. "We did it," she said. "We showed them humans won't give up." But the Chinese president looked worried. "What will the aliens do now?" he asked. "They'll be angry." Just then, a loud boom shook the room. The sky outside turned purple again. The alien ships were back. The leaders looked at each other. They had won the battle, but the war was just beginning. Dr. Li stepped forward. "Don't worry," she said. "This is just the start. Now we have their tech. We can do even more. Humanity will reach the stars." As if to answer her, a new message appeared on all screens. It was Zork, and he did not look happy. The fight for Earth's future was on. Sneaky humans, silly aliens. The Mosquito ships had done their job. Now, it was time for the next step. Dr. Li and her team were ready to sneak onto the big alien ship. "Remember," Dr. Li told her team, "we're not here to fight. We're here to learn." They wore special suits that made them invisible to alien tech. The suits were tight and itchy, but they worked. The team crept through the alien ship. It was huge inside, with long hallways and strange, glowing walls. "Look," whispered Tom, the tech expert. He pointed at a group of aliens. They were tall and blue, like Zork. The team hid and watched. The aliens were arguing. "Humans are too smart," one alien said. "They got through our force field." Another alien looked scared. "What if they find out our secret?" it asked. Dr. Li's ears perked up. "Secret? What secret?" The team followed the aliens to a big room. Inside was a huge computer. It looked important. Tom grinned. "Jackpot," he whispered. He plugged a small device into the computer. Suddenly, alarms went off. Lights flashed red. The team froze. But then something funny happened. The aliens started running around in circles, waving their long arms. "The humans are coming," they yelled. "Hide the snacks." Dr. Lee blinked. Snacks. The aliens pulled out bags of potato chips. They started stuffing their faces. One alien burped loudly. "Mum, Earth food is the best," it said. The team looked at each other, confused. These scary aliens were acting like silly kids. Tom's device beeped. He had downloaded the alien computer's files. "Let's go," Dr. Lee said. They snuck back to their ship and flew home. Back on Earth, they shared what they learned. The world leaders couldn't believe it. "The aliens aren't strong," Dr. Lee explained. "They're scared of us." She showed them the computer files. The aliens had been watching Earth TV for years. They loved human movies, music, and especially food. They'd put the force field up because they were afraid we'd stop making potato chips if we met them, Tom said, laughing. The U.S. president shook her head. "So the big, scary galactic empire is just a bunch of couch potatoes." "Basically," Dr. Lee said. "They've gotten lazy. They haven't invented anything new in centuries. But humans, we create new things all the time." The world leaders looked at each other. Then they started to smile. "So we don't need to fight them," the Chinese president said. "We can trade with them." The Indian prime minister nodded. "We'll offer them our food and entertainment. In return, they teach us about space travel." Everyone liked this idea. But how to tell the aliens? Dr. Lee had a plan. "We'll use their love of Earth TV," she said. The next day, all TVs on Earth played the same thing. It was a commercial for a new potato chip flavor, Galactic Ranch. The ad showed humans and aliens sharing chips and laughing together. At the end, it said, "Why fight when we can be friends? Call us Zork." In space, the alien ships went crazy. They all tried to call Earth at once. Zork's face appeared on Earth's screens again. But this time, he looked happy. "Humans," he said, "we accept your offer of friendship and chips." People all over Earth cheered. The force field came down. Alien ships landed, not to fight, but to trade. And so, Earth joined the galactic community. Not with big guns or scary tech, but with kindness, creativity, and really good snacks. As for Dr. Lee and her team, they became Earth's first ambassadors to the stars. Their first mission, teaching aliens how to dip chips in salsa without making a mess. The universe would never be the same again, and it was all thanks to sneaky humans and some very silly aliens. The big secret: a month had passed since Earth made friends with the aliens. Things were going well. Aliens loved Earth's food and TV shows. Humans were learning about cool space tech. But Dr. Lee couldn't shake a feeling. Something was off. "The aliens are hiding something," she told the world leaders. "I need to find out what." The U.S. president nodded. "Do what you must," she said. Dr. Lee and her team snuck onto the main alien ship again. This time, they had a secret weapon, a universal translator. They crept through the ship, listening to alien chatter. Most of it was boring stuff about Earth snacks. But then they heard something interesting. Two aliens were whispering in a dark corner. "The humans can't find out about the gift," one said. "What gift?" Dr. Lee whispered to her team. They shrugged. The aliens kept talking. "If they learn about the gift, they'll become too powerful," the other alien said. Dr. Lee's heart raced. This was it, the big secret. They followed the aliens to a hidden room. Inside was a glowing blue cube. It floated in the air, humming softly. "The gift," an alien said, bowing to the cube. Dr. Lee's translator beeped. It had decoded the alien writing on the cube. She gasped when she read it. Just then, alarms blared. They'd been caught. "Run," Dr. Lee yelled. Her team sprinted back to their ship. Aliens chased them, yelling and waving their arms. They made it to their ship just in time. As they flew away, Dr. Lee looked at the data from the cube. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. Back on Earth, she called an emergency meeting with world leaders. "We've discovered the aliens' big secret," she said. Everyone leaned in close. Dr. Lee took a deep breath. "The gift isn't a weapon or advanced tech. It's knowledge." She explained. Long ago, a super-smart alien race created the gift. It was a cube that could answer any question in the universe. But the smart aliens disappeared, leaving the gift behind. "The aliens we met found the gift," Dr. Lee said. "They've been using it to seem smart and powerful, but they don't really understand it." The room was silent. Then the Chinese president spoke up. "So, the aliens aren't actually advanced. They just have a super Google." Dr. Lee nodded. "Exactly. And they're scared because humans learn and create things on our own. We don't need the gift to be smart." The world leaders looked at each other, amazed. Humans were special after all. "There's more," Dr. Lee said. She showed them the last thing the cube told her. Everyone gasped. The cube had said, "Humans are the key. They will unlock the gift's true power." "What does it mean?" the Indian Prime Minister asked. Dr. Lee shook her head. "I don't know, but I think it's why the aliens were really scared of us." Just then, a message came in. It was Zork, the alien leader. He looked nervous. "Humans," he said, "we know you found out about the gift. Please, let us explain." The U.S. president looked at Dr. Lee. She nodded. "Okay, Zork," the president said. "Let's talk." An hour later, aliens and humans sat together in a big meeting room. The glowing cube, the gift, sat in the middle. Zork spoke first. "We're sorry we hid this from you. We were scared. The gift told us humans were special, but we didn't understand why." Dr. Lee stepped forward. "Maybe we can figure it out together," she said. "Humans and aliens, working as friends." Zork smiled. "We'd like that," he said. As if responding to their words, the gift started to glow brighter. Everyone watched in awe as it rose into the air. A voice came from the cube. It was old and wise. At last, it said, "The time has come. Humans and aliens united. Now, the true adventure can begin." The cube opened up, revealing a galaxy of stars inside. It was beautiful and mysterious. Dr. Lee and Zork looked at each other. Then they looked at the cube. "What adventure?" they asked together. The gift's response was simple but exciting. "The quest to find the ones who created me. Are you ready?" Humans and aliens alike cheered. A new chapter in the universe's story was about to start, and Earth was right at the center of it all. Earth stands tall. The news spread fast. Humans were special. The gift had chosen them. Now, Earth had to decide what to do next. World leaders gathered in New York. The meeting was held in the UN building. But this time, alien leaders were there too. Dr. Lee stood at the front. She looked nervous but excited. "We have a big choice to make," she said. The room was quiet. Everyone waited to hear more. "The gift has invited us on a quest," Dr. Lee continued, "to find its creators, but we don't have to go." Zork, the alien leader, spoke up. "My people will support whatever humans decide," he said. "We trust you." The U.S. president stood up. "This is a chance to explore the universe," she said. "We should take it." But the Chinese president wasn't sure. "It could be dangerous," he said. "Maybe we should stay home." People started arguing. Some wanted adventure. Others wanted to play it safe. Just then, a young girl raised her hand. She was the daughter of the Indian Prime Minister, visiting for the day. "Can I say something?" she asked. The room went quiet. The girl walked to the front. "I learned in school that humans are explorers," she said. "We climbed mountains. We crossed oceans. We went to the moon. She looked around the room. If we stay home, we'll always wonder what we missed. I think we should go. The room was silent. Then, slowly, people started to clap. The clapping got louder and louder. The U.S. president smiled. Well said, she told the girl. Let's vote. All in favor of joining the quest. Hands went up all around the room. It was unanimous. Earth would go on the adventure. Zork looked happy. We'll help you get ready, he said. You'll need spaceships, training, and lots of snacks. Everyone laughed. The meeting ended on a happy note. Over the next few months, Earth was busy. People trained to be space explorers. Scientists built new ships. Kids in school learned about alien cultures. Finally, the day came. Earth was ready to announce its decision to the universe. A special TV show was set up. It would be broadcast to Earth and all alien worlds. Dr. Lee and the world leaders would speak. As the show began, billions watched. On Earth, in alien ships, and on faraway planets, everyone tuned in. Dr. Lee spoke first. Hello, universe, she said. Earth has made its choice. She took a deep breath. We accept the gift's invitation. We will join the quest to find its creators. The U.S. president stepped up next. But we're not just joining, she said. We're leading. The Chinese president nodded. Earth will be the center of this mission, he added. All species are welcome to join us. The Indian Prime Minister spoke last. We may be new to the galaxy, she said, but we are not afraid. Earth stands tall and ready. As if on cue, the gift appeared. It floated above the leaders, glowing brightly. A voice came from it. The humans have chosen wisely, it said. The quest begins now. The gift shot a beam of light into the sky. It formed a giant map of the universe. Your first destination, the gift said. A planet on the map lit up. Cheers erupted around the world. In New York, people danced in the streets. In Tokyo, fireworks filled the sky. In Rio, there was a huge party on the beach. Alien worlds celebrated too. They were excited to follow Earth's lead. Dr. Lee looked at the map, then at her fellow humans. Well, she said with a smile, let's go make history. And just like that, Earth took its place as a leader in the universe. The planet that was once trapped by a force field was now breaking free, ready to explore the stars. As ships prepared to leave Earth, carrying humans and aliens together, one thing was clear: the universe would never be the same again. Earth had stood tall, and now it was reaching for the stars. A whole new universe. The day had finally come. Earth's first big spaceship, named Hope, was ready to leave. It was huge, shiny, and packed with cool tech. Dr. Lee stood at the ship's entrance. She looked at the crowd below. Millions had come to watch the launch. Ready for this? The U.S. president asked her. Dr. Lee nodded. Ready as we'll ever be. The crew was a mix of humans and aliens. There was Tom, the tech guy, Maria, the brave pilot, Zork, their alien friend, and many more. As they boarded, people cheered. Flags from all countries waved. Alien visitors clapped their weird hands. The gift floated nearby, glowing softly. It would guide them on their journey. 10, 9, 8. The countdown began. Dr. Lee took her seat. Her heart was racing. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. The ship roared to life. It rose slowly at first, then shot into the sky like a bullet. People on Earth watched on big screens. The ship got smaller and smaller, then disappeared. In space, the crew looked back at Earth. It was a beautiful blue marble. Wow, Maria whispered. It looks so small from here. Zork nodded. But its people have big hearts, he said. The gift glowed brighter. A map appeared, showing their first stop. The planet Zublon, the gift said. There you'll find your first clue. The ship zoomed through space. Stars streaked by like lines of light. After a week, they reached Zublon. It was a weird planet. The ground was purple. The sky was green, and the aliens looked like talking trees. "Welcome, Earth friends," a tree alien said. "We've waited so long to meet you." The crew spent days exploring Zublan. They learned new things, tasted strange food, and made friends. But they also searched for clues. The gift had said there was something important here. On their last day, they found it. Hidden in an old temple was a piece of rock with strange writing. Tom scanned it with his tech. "It's a message," he said, "from the gift's creators." Everyone gathered around. The message said, "To those who find this, you are on the right path. The universe is vast, but you are not alone. Keep exploring, keep learning, and you will find us. Your next stop is the crystal caves of Glimmer." Excitement filled the ship as they left Zublan. They were on a real adventure now. Over the next few months, the crew visited many planets. Each one was different and amazing. On Glimmer, they swam through caves made of shining crystals. On Flubber, they bounced on a planet made entirely of jelly. On Whisper, they talked to ghosts who knew secrets of the past. At each stop, they found new clues. The trail of the gift's creators was getting warmer. But it wasn't all fun. Sometimes, they faced dangers. Space pirates tried to steal their ship. A black hole almost sucked them in. An angry alien monster chased them across a desert. But every time, the crew worked together, humans and aliens, using their different skills to survive. Back on Earth, people followed their journey. Kids played Space Explorer in their backyards. Adults dreamed of visiting new worlds. The universe was changing too. More aliens wanted to be friends with Earth. Trade routes opened up. The galaxy felt smaller and friendlier. After a year in space, the Hope got a message from Earth. Dr. Lee answered it. The U.S. President's face appeared on the screen. "How's it going up there?" she asked. Dr. Lee smiled. "It's amazing," she said. "We've seen things we never imagined, and we're getting close to finding the gift's creators." The president nodded. "Earth is proud of you," she said. "And guess what? We're building more ships. Soon, others will join your adventure." As the call ended, Dr. Lee looked at her crew. Humans and aliens, all working together, all explorers. "Well, team," she said, "ready for our next stop?" Everyone cheered. The gift glowed, showing a new destination. The Hope's engines roared to life. They shot off into the stars, ready for whatever came next. And so, the adventure continued. Earth had taken its place in a whole new universe. The future was bright, full of mystery and wonder. The greatest journey in human history had only just begun.